Is your garage or basement too dark? Or maybe it's not as bright as you would like it. I know mine sure is. Today we're going to be looking at BeyondBright. BeyondBright is an LED light for your garage or your basement that screws right into the light bulb socket. That'll be sure interesting to check out. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. And my channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items. I look at some consumer gadgets, other household items. Once in a while I do a little bit of DIY just because I think it's a lot of fun. If that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. Now, let's take a closer look at BeyondBright. I purchased BeyondBright for about 30 bucks from my local as seen on TV retailer. I want to show you a few things. One, it tells me it's 300% brighter than an ordinary 60 watt light bulb, but look at this. It lasts 30 plus years. How often do you replace your light bulb? 30 years? Let's unbox this and see what we've got. All right. I've got some directions. Oh, 2 sets of install directions. Cool, look at this thing. It looks like something right out of Star Wars or futuristic. All right, so this, of course, screws right into your light bulb socket, and I have 3 sets of LEDs. This actually feels like some sort of metal material. That's pretty nice. I like what I've seen so far. You can adjust these different ways. I think this is interesting. There's an on-off switch here, which is strange because most garage ceilings are pretty tall. So how would you turn that on and off? Or why would you need that? Anyway, this is our first look at BeyondBright, and it looks like something from Beyond, doesn't it? As you could probably guess from a light bulb review, the directions, well, just didn't have a whole lot of directions. All it really said was screw it in like a light bulb. Once you get it screwed in, you can adjust these to the angle that you desire. Now, there was a few warnings that I want to bring to your attention. 1, they said this is absolutely for indoor use only, not for outside. 2, these are high-powered LED lights, and they say do not stare at them. If you do look at them, don't do it for a prolonged period of time because you can cause damage to your eyes. And the last one, which I thought was kind of strange, is they said be careful not to touch it after it's been on for a while because it's going to get really, really hot. Now, I've used other LED lights that said, hey, we're LED lights, we stay cool. This one says they stay hot. That's interesting. So I'm going to try this out in my basement, okay? And you might think, well, that's a weird place to try out a light. Well, I have a house that was built over 200 years ago. It was actually built in 1800. And when we first bought the house, you know when you first buy a house, you maybe have a little money saved because you're going to paint or redo a porch or do something fun to show it off. Well, when we bought this house, we found out one of the beams was completely rotted out. So that's what we spent our little bit of money on. And so I've never had a chance to show it off until this video. Let's go down to my basement and see if this lights it up. Here's that sweet beam that I had installed within the first month of living here. It spans all the way down, but I've got stuff here in the way. Anyway, I wanted to show that off. First time ever. All right, so down here I have some LED lights. They screw into regular light bulb sockets. It's kind of bright. I know you can't see it. It does illuminate pretty well around here, but like I notice in corners, it can get dark and such. And so that's what I'm really looking to see if this light works better than a typical light. So now this is the regular light. Let's test BeyondBright to see how it does. All right, so I've installed BeyondBright, and as you can see, it is a whole lot brighter in here. It just illuminates everything. So I have the directions of them facing up a little bit instead of down, just so it gets to more than one specific space. But I can say that immediately, this is pretty bright. This is what it looks like if you're looking directly up at the light. Looks like a spaceship coming down to get you. I would love to hear from you. What do you think of this BeyondBright bulb? Is this really as bright as they say? Do you need one of these in your basement, in your garage, in your shed? Let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think of this? I'd love to hear from you. This is what it looks like installed. And do you see how I kicked up all this dust and how this light just shows it off? I was going to wait for it to die down or the dust to settle, but I thought it was still pretty cool. Anyway, this is how you adjust it. Just tilt these things up or down, any which way you want them to be, and they'll illuminate better that way. I've had this thing on for a little bit of a time now, and they said in the directions that this is supposed to get hot to the touch, but it has not. Now, they might be talking about the LED parts themselves, but I haven't tested that. But I would say this is no hotter than a normal light bulb. So now that we've tried it in my what's considered a dungeon of a basement, actually it was pretty cool because there was a fireplace down there, and that's where I'm told years ago that cooking happened because that was the original kitchen. Anyway, back on track. I'm pretty sure the BeyondBright made it a brighter area, but the ceiling down there are only about 7 feet, right? So there's not a whole big span for it to show off its real light potential. So what I'd like to do is I would like to try it out into my garage area, which is more like a shed, right? It's just attached to the house, but I don't put cars in there. It's mainly where the lawnmower and such goes. So I'd like to try it in there because those ceilings are pretty tall. They're good 20, 25 feet up in the air. So let's go out now and try it there. First, I'll show you what it looks like with a regular bulb, and then I'll switch over to the BeyondBright bulb. All right, here's a shot of my not so organized shed here with a regular light bulb. Now, of course, it's daytime. You can see that it's day, but it's pretty bright in here. It's a good sized space, but I would like to have more lighting. Now let's see what it looks like with BeyondBright in here. Now we have the BeyondBright light bulb in, and I don't know about you, but I can tell a drastic difference in how bright this is. It does make a difference how high off the ground it is, because this is really illuminated, and I especially like that I can change where my lights go by moving up and down these little lights that are there. Pretty cool, but definitely is a lot brighter. It shows that I need to clean this area out really, really bad. Whoa! Did you see that? Pretty impressive. You know what? In that garage shed area, I have a light, and it lights up pretty well. I can see everything. I don't trip. I can find things. But when I switched it to the BeyondBright, did you see the difference? It was drastic. I could see areas all over, and some of them may be a little too embarrassing to put on the internet because I need to go clean that up. But seriously, it lit it up very, very well. So when I first tried out in the basement, I said I could tell a difference, but maybe I want to try it on a higher ceiling because my basement's about 7 foot. Well, the garage shed area is about 20 to 25 feet up, and I would absolutely recommend it. If you have a ceiling that high, this projects a really good light. Now, the basement, not so much. You can put a regular LED light bulb, and it will shine up that area because it's lower, right? And plus, you don't want to be looking directly in these things because they are pretty bright. But up there on the ceiling where I'm not going to be looking up and it's shining on everything, absolutely perfect. So if I were to do a buy or deny, I would have to say it depends what you're using for, because to be honest with you, $30 for a light bulb is pretty expensive, even as cool as this is. Basement, no. A shed with a low ceiling, probably not. But a garage or a workshop where the ceiling's way up there, in my garage workshop area or my garage shed area, I only have one light fixture, right? And it's about a 20 by 20 area, so not that big, but it's also not that small. And it does light it, but this thing did a whole lot better. So because I only have the one, I think this is great. It acts as 3 different lights. So for me, I would say yes. And for you, just depending on what you needed it for. Does that make sense? Anyway, this was Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I really appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review for BeyondBright, the LED light for your garage, basement, and more. There's another video I want you to go check out, and I'm going to link it right here. It's actually cup call. Hello? No, it's not that kind of thing. It's a cell phone holder for your car that goes in your cup holder. Now, I'm going to link that video right up here, and I would love it if you went and clicked on this link. I will see you over there. Go ahead, click it. It's safe. I promise.